Now, like I mentioned, again, we'll be moving to doing CTFs now.
Okay.
So there is this website known as Try Hack Me. Did I mention that in the session, the previous session?
Yes, in last session you told like of in the next session we will start with this one only.
Okay. So, do you have an account there?
No, not yet. Actually, this week I formatted my laptop and dual booted the Kali. And inside
Okay.
that, like VMware and VirtualBox installed inside that, and downloaded the Metasploitable and Mr. Robot machine inside the Kali.
Okay. So what you can do is you can go to the website and make an account if you want. Like you can do that right now. So you will be able to like do work on the CTF alongside me as well.
Okay.
Okay. So it's like registration is free, so there's nothing to worry about in that case. And so you are able to run your Kali properly, right?
Yes, now it's working fine.
Okay,
Better
that's
than
good.
before.
Yeah, that's good. So
Because I like downloaded three machines, Metasploitable 1, 2, and Mr. Robot. I like
okay.
started three of them,
Mhm.
and then I tried to connect it with the machine, so it's working fine now.
Okay, that's great. So with this try hack me, the good thing is that you don't have to download anything extra. Okay, you simply deploy your CTF, whatever you want to solve, you deploy it on the cloud, and you can access, like you can work on it from your Kali. You don't
Okay.
have to download a separate VM or a separate machine like in Metasploitable or Mr. Robot.
hmm One thing, sir, in
Yes.
these like try hack me machine,
Hmm.
so like in previous websites we work on like defend the web, and other one is that Michel.
Yeah.
So in these websites, we just got the challenge. We need to solve the CTF and that's it. So in this try hack me,
Hmm.
there are VMs available that we can connect with SSH.
Not necessarily with SSH. I mean, that will depend on what your that will depend on the VM whether you are supposed to connect with SSH or not.
Okay.
But the thing is, you will be able to connect to their network, to try
Mhm.
HackMe's network,
Okay.
and then you
So we
can
just
work
need
on.
to find capture the flag only, or is there kind of like we need to like make some changes inside the machine and then we take like a privilege escalation kind of things.
Yeah, those things will be there. I mean, it's a proper CTF, just
Mm-hmm.
like you have when you download a machine.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a proper CTF. It's a complete CTF. So you have to you maybe you'll have to perform privilege escalation.
Mm-hmm.
You'll have to maybe exploit something. Again, that depends on what machine you are targeting.
Okay, so like
So it's a
once I make some changes inside a VM, so if
hmm,
other user is trying to connect to that same machine,
hmm.
so how they will get a fresh machine?
Because everyone who, like, let's say there is a particular machine that I'm trying to get to, and there are
Mm-hmm.
five other people, let's say. Now, of course, this is just I'm just taking
Mm-hmm.
a random number. So everyone has a separate instance that is employed that is deployed for them. So if you are working on the machine and I am working on the machine, we are not actually working on the same instance. Okay, we are working on different instances. What they do
Okay.
is, let's say when you use virtual machines, there is a concept of a snapshot.
Yes.
Yes. So what they do is they take a snapshot of the original state of the machine, and
Hmm.
whenever someone deploys a CTF, deploys a machine, so
Hmm.
they use that snapshot to set up a separate instance which is specific to that user.
Okay, whenever the user leave the machine, it will be deleted.
Yes, that instance is deleted.
Okay.
And even let's say like you solved something today,
Hmm.
like you're working on a machine, you solved something today, you maybe made some changes, you created some files or something,
Hmm.
and then you come and try it again the next day. So the next day you will get a different instance. Okay, you'll have to start from scratch.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
the thing.
That was actually my question. Like, how, if we made on a machine one time, how we will able to get a fresh machine next time?
And that's because every time you close an instance or terminate an instance, that is
Hmm.
gone. Like you can't
Okay.
get that again.
Okay.
Okay, so that's again, this is one of the benefits that you get with cloud computing, that you can have such a platform
Hmm.
and everyone can access it and practice stuff.
Okay.
That's a very beneficial thing, I would say.
Hmm.
Have you signed up?
For this, no, not yet.
Okay. So the environment that you will get to practice, it's just like you are hosting CTF on your system, like you're hosting a virtual machine and you're working on that. It's just that you will be connected to their network via VPN. So you should not be having any difficulties in accessing the system. Okay, signed up.
So you waiting for me to sign up?
Yeah, then we'll begin.
No, actually, I'm attending class from mobile only, not from
Okay,
laptop.
okay, okay. If you have access to a laptop, I would suggest that you attend classes using that.
Okay.
So let's say you want to, you know, follow along during the session itself, you'll be able to do that then.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so the screen sharing is paused. Okay, let me just resume that. Okay, so what happens is it has different rooms or different, you could say, challenges available on the website. So what we'll be doing is we'll be focusing on a few Windows ones, a
Mm.
couple of Windows challenges because we have worked on Linux previously. So now we come to Windows. So there are some differences, of course, that you will notice when you start solving challenges related to Windows. Now, okay, so whenever you deploy an instance, okay, so now this is deployed in the cloud, and I'm already connected to this network, or no, no, I'm not connected yet. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just need to sudo open VPN, and they'll give you an access file. So you simply run that with OpenVPN, and it'll create a tunnel to their network. So if I check my IP right now, there is this another interface that has been added, tunnel 0, and
Mm.
that's the IP. So this is my IP on their network. On their network, this is the IP. And if I refresh this page,
Mm.
then you'll see that it shows the IP that you are connected using. So that's the IP
Okay.
for my system on their network. Now, the IP for my target system is this. So 10.10.25.99. And whenever you deploy something, it gives you a time of 1 hour.
Okay.
You can add an hour if you want to extend your time. So you can keep extending it by 1 hour if you require. Okay, so
Okay.
again, that depends on you. By default, it's going to give you
1 hour only.
1 hour. Okay, so I'm connected to the network. I've deployed this VM. I have the IP. Now I can use this. Okay, so just copy this. Now, since this is what is known as somewhat of a guided room, so they have a couple of questions that they ask you, and then you need to answer that. Okay, so no, okay. So it says this task involves you paying attention to details, finding the keys to the castle. Okay, just some room is designed for you. Okay. This room you don't need to brute force any login page. Okay, good. Just your preferred browser on remote desktop. Now in Windows, you'll almost certainly have to use the remote desktop protocol or RDP
Mm-hmm.
to connect to your target at some point during the process. And that's one of the main differences that comes with attacking Linux systems and attacking Windows systems.
Okay.
That you do get kind of user interface,
Mm-hmm.
graphical user interface access on a Windows system with
Windows
RDP.
system. Okay.
But of course, we don't have any credentials for that now. So for now, let's just proceed. Okay, it says let's run Nmap and check what ports are open. Excuse me. And of course, since we don't really have anything, any other information to go on, the first thing we do is use Nmap. Now the IP is already given to us. So again, you'll see the process is similar, just that instead of having it on our system, we are accessing it online. A cloud
Mm-hmm.
as a cloud-based VM instance. That's all.
Okay. But like if sir, you are accessing this machine from Linux machine, so how do you use that RDP?
RDP from Linux itself. Linux has few tools for RDP.
Yes, like a Remina tool.
Yes, you have Remina, you have R desktop, you have X-Free RDP.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a
Okay.
few. Okay, so that again depends on what you prefer.
Okay.
Okay, so it shows us that there are five open ports, and if I do a complete scan,
Fine. Okay.
yeah, hyphen B hyphen. So if you see here, 3389 is open, so that means RDP is running.
RDP port.
So this means that at some point during this attacking this machine, I'll need to use RDP and go to that system using RDP. But of course, for now, we don't have any credentials for that. So okay, that's way too much. That's way too much time for an Nmap scan. And mostly in these systems, you'll find that they don't really have more than the number of ports that are present in the original scan. Okay, let's see what it tells us to do next. So let's run Nmap, check what ports are open. Okay, we've done that. What port is for the web server? Now we have port 80 running and it has an HTTP service. So port 80 is for the web server.
Web services.
So you can enter this answer and click completed here. So it will tell you whether it's the correct answer or the wrong answer. And based on that, you get points and rank up within the website. So again, that is a different aspect as well. So you get rankings up and you get batches for completing stuff. So again, that's kind of a progression system. Okay, so port 80 is there. Now, whenever you have port 80 or whenever you see that there is a web server present, it is always a good idea to go there.
Go visit.
In some cases, it might be a dead end. In some cases, but in most cases, you are going to find something on this web server itself. So that is why it's always recommended to do this sort of thing, access a website, and it's taking a bit of time. Now again, I haven't done a vulnerability scan or even a script scan here. Okay, so this is the website that we have reached. And
Anthem.com. We are hiring.
so Anthem is actually the name of this CTF, the name of
CTF.
this virtual machine as well.
Mm.
So the website is also having the same name. Now it says that this is the website and there are two posts. Now before I go on to these posts, what is one of the first things that we look for when we access a website in a CTF, or even if you are doing some kind of penetration testing on a website, what is the first thing that you look for?
Mm.
Similar to what we've done previously for previous
Like
CTFs.
view the source code.
Source code is, it comes after this. What is the first thing here that I'll try? That I should try actually. Source code can help, of course.
Then this look for the login pages.
Login pages sometimes, of course, but what you always try is you look for this
Robot.txt.
robots.txt. Actually, I think.
Link URL. Okay.
Okay, and it looks like okay. This is
This is
good
will
thing
be
for
our
us.
config.
Now it says Umbraco is the best. Okay, so now this is not something that you would normally fire in a robots.txt file. So this means that this has some significance with respect to this CTF.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, as of now, we might not know what that is, but we know that it might be useful in some regard. If I come back here, okay, what port is for remote desktop? Okay, 3C89. What is a possible password in one of the pages web crawlers check for? Web crawlers check for robots.txt, and we have received this Umbraco is the best. So that is a possible password. Password for what? We don't know yet. Okay, we don't know what accounts exist on this system and how we are going to access them, but we know that this is a possible password. So we are going to just hold on to that for now. And it is telling us other directories bin, config, Umbraco, and Umbraco client. So we can try to access these bin. Okay, doesn't really give us anything. What if I add?
Umbraco.
Still nothing. Config. Config just takes us to the original website. What about Umbraco? Okay, so it looks like this is a login page. Yeah, that's what it is. But as of now, we don't really know what the username or password might be. If you try something like the default admin and stuff, maybe that'll help, or maybe it won't. Or if I try like you know admin and this password that we discovered earlier, do I still have that copied? I think I should have. Yeah. So will it work? No. Last thing you can do is try administrator. Okay, so this is not working. So currently there's nothing for us to do here. And this was the last URL that we saw in this thing. Now what is so okay, this is also taking us here, so nothing new. Now what is Umbraco? Basically if you just Google it, you'll find out that Umbraco is a CMS. Okay, so it's a content management system which is used to manage a website. So what you can also do is go to a website like exploit.db, or you can open up Metasploit and search if there are any exploits related to Umbraco. Okay, there is a couple of stuff. I mean, there are a couple of things here.
Authentication code.
But I think all of those will require a login and a password. Okay, we don't really have a login or a password at this point. Okay, can we get something using this? This is part of Metasploit. Okay, I don't really want to use Metasploit at this point, and it's not really required for this system. I mean, you can keep in mind that whatever CMS or whatever technology you find running on a website,
Okay.
you can try to search for vulnerabilities or exploits for that website within your exploit DB or within Metasploit. So
Hmm.
that might help you. Okay, so now what we need to do is, if I come back to this portion, what CMS is the website using? So we've just figured out that the CMS being used is Umbraco. The domain of the website is anthem.com. That's the name. What is the name of the administrator? Okay, so we need to try to figure out what is the name of the administrator. And this scan is not really going to do anything for us. But what I can do is I can run a vulnerability scan, see if that gives me anything. Although that's a little unlikely at this point. Okay, so now let's take a look at these posts. Okay, so let's just see what we get. I come to we are hiring. Who's the author? Author is something known as someone known as Jane Doe. Now, not sure whether that's the admin or not. So let's take out the other article. Okay. Now, even the author of this one is not this administrator, but there is a hint to the admin. It says during our hard times, our beloved admin managed to save our business and so and so. Uh, I decided to write a poem about the admin. Okay, so read through this poem, and if you are familiar with this, you'll be able to identify the name of the admin. If not, what you can do is simply just copy this and just Google it. Okay, so Solomon Grundy is, of course, this is just a poem or a rhyme, you could say. So there's a fictional character known as Solomon Grundy who's related to this. So that is the name of the admin now. So you can go ahead and enter that as the answer. Okay, so now it's saying, can we find the email address of the admin? Okay, so to find the email address, we don't have any email address as of this point, but let's keep looking. Okay, maybe we'll find something, maybe not. Let's go back here. And okay, I haven't really looked at the second post properly. Let us see. Now, based on the information present in this post, can we figure out what the email for the administrator would be?
Jane.anthem@anthem.com. Possibly.
Yeah, but she's not the admin.
What we got in that poem?
No, so that is the admin, and what would be the email?
That admin name at and domain name
Admin name, so just Solomon Grundy, the entire thing.
trendy or Solomon.g.
Why? I mean,
Because
why would that be the case?
for some time instead of writing the complete surname, just took the first letter of surname.
Hmm. Yeah, but that is a possibility. Okay, we don't know for sure. Okay, I want the answer which you can arrive at with certainty that okay, this is the email. See, for someone known as JND, the email is jd@anthem.com.
Mhm.
So now in any organization, email format to be followed for everyone is the same.
Same.
So for the admin, who's Solomon Grundy,
SG.
sg@anthem.com. Yes. So that would be the administrator's email. Okay, now that we have the admin email, okay, we are at the end of this task one here. So I can just close this. Okay, I can go to the next task now. Spot the flags. Now it says our beloved admin left some flags behind that we require to gather before we proceed to the next task. Okay, so now what is one thing that we haven't really done at all on this website? Like one thing that we should do but we haven't done.
Source code review.
Yes, we haven't looked at the source code at all. So let's rectify that and take a look at the source.
Okay.
Now it says here that there are some flags that we need to collect. So before I go on to anything else, I'm going to try and figure out the flags present on this. And okay, I already see one flag here. Do you see it?
Uh, no.
No. Okay, it's somewhere within the meta tags.
There are three meta tags, meta content tags.
Yeah. So did you find the flag in those?
We are hiring article, digital. What is this fourth one? Meta content is?
This one.
Yes.
This is the flag.
No, like what this belongs to? What is like what the meaning of this meta content? THML.
This is the flag that I was talking about. This is the flag that is present
LOL.
in
Who
this page.
uses meta?
Hmm. Role who uses meta. That's just the author is trying to be funny. So
Oh,
that's the flag. That's one flag. We have four flags. Okay.
mm,
So this was one, and I don't think we are going to find anything else on this page. So let's go back here and okay, let's try like taking a look at the author's page itself. Okay, can you see the second flag now?
that's right. Who this? What is this?
Yeah, this
THM.
is the second flag. It's not actually a working link or anything. It's just going to take you to the home page, but that is another one of the flags. So again, so far we are two down, two to go. Let's continue looking. Okay, we already looked at this. Let's see here if we find something. Okay, now here the author page is not there, but if I try to take a look at the source code for this one,
Another meta.
another meta, exactly. So that's three flags now, and there is just one more that is left. So where should we look for it?
By redesigning the entire website.
We haven't really actually seen the source code for this page itself. Let's see if we can find something here. And the flag is here. You can see it.
GIT good.
Yeah, git good. Okay, so this is the flag. So we have found the four flags that were hidden in the website. Now let's see the third task. Let's figure out the username and password to log in to the box. The box is not on a domain. Okay. Now we have a username, or we have the name of the admin, and we have a password. So I can try to use that to log in. And log in how? How do we log in on the system? What do we use to log into that system?
RDP is
Yes, yes,
but
that
we
is
need a
correct.
username password.
We use RDP.
Mhm.
Okay, so I like to use X free RDP for this purpose. And okay, you specify the username. Let's say I try sg@anthem.com. Let's see whether that gives us access or not. Then you specify the password. Okay, no, this is, I was trying to use Umbraco is the best. I'll just go here, copy this and paste. Okay, and what what else do I need to type?
The host.
Yeah, the host. So the host I'll specify with this hyphen v, and the IP is let me just confirm. Okay, I'll have it in the Nmap scans here actually. Okay, that's a lot of options. 25.99. Okay, so no, 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 right. So 10.10.25.99. Let's trust this certificate. Yes. Okay, error. So there was an error with connecting to that system. So it's probably the wrong username or the wrong password. Let me try without this at the rate anthem.com. Let's just try SG. Okay, so this is the correct username and password as well. Okay, so as you can see here, what we have is RDP access to our target now.
Okay.
So in Linux, you're almost never going to see something like that on a Linux based CTF because we just work with shell access there.
Mhm.
Even in a few Windows CTFs, you'll not be seeing RDP access, but in a lot of them, this is the case. It says could not connect all network drives, but that is not for us to worry about. Okay, so there is a file user. If I click on this, let me just. Okay, so this is another flag. Now, like just in every CTF, we have a user flag and a root flag. So
Mhm.
for this system, this is the user flag. Gain initial access. What is the content of user.txt? So the user flag we have found out. And now the next thing it says is, can we spot the admin password? Okay, and this is all. So of course, nothing else is present here. Let's look. So you'll have to look around in the system to find more stuff. Okay. So there's just one drive, and of course you can look in the downloads. Maybe there's a file there. Oh, it's empty. Maybe there's a document. Again, no. Any pictures? Nothing there. The desktop, we already know there's just this user file there. Okay. And if I go into users, there's SG, public administrator, and a couple of folders for the .NET framework. But of course, that's not going to give us anything. If I try accessing the admin folder, okay, I don't have access and I will not be able to get access either because it's going to ask me for the admin password. So we don't know that yet. Click on no. Within SG, we already have seen everything that is there. Public documents. Okay, nothing here. And it looks like there's nothing to actually help us within all of these folders. So what could we try here? What could we use to move forward? Can you think of anything that might help us? That might get us a look at other files as well. Anything, any setting that we could use for that? No. If
No,
I
not
come to
right.
this website, I can see that there is a hint here. There's a hint for this question. It says it is hidden.
No,
So the admin password is hidden somewhere. So what can I do now?
no, like reveal the hidden files.
I can look for hidden files and folders. So what I can do is go to search, type hidden. What I need to do is I need to change the setting from the control panel. So rather than go all the way there, I can simply use the search, show hidden file and folder. So the setting for that. Okay, currently it is set to don't show hidden files, folders or drives. We want to see these. Click on apply. Okay. So can you see any difference in the contents of the C drive?
Program data,
Program data
backup,
and backup. Okay. So now program data is a system folder that is
system
always
folder.
there, and it does not really look like there is anything here for us. Let's try to see what is there in backup. Okay, this is interesting. There is a text file here called restore. So let us try to read this. See, it tells me that you do not have permission to open this file. See the owner of the file or an administrator to obtain permission. Okay, so it's not letting us read this.
Can I copy this one?
Pardon?
Can we copy this file?
Copy this file. Let's try. Copy. And what do we do? Where do we paste it?
Like on desktop or somewhere.
Desktop. Let me try. We need to provide administrator permission. Administrator permission is something we don't have, so we'll not be able to provide it either.
Hmm.
So copying is out of the question. What else can we do?
Try to change the permissions if we can.
Yes, let's see. So how do we change the permissions in Windows?
Properties
Properties. Okay. What now?
and security,
Security. Okay.
edit,
It,
uh,
and what do I do with edit?
read and execute.
For there is no user selected.
Hmm, Permission to access. Then try to restore the previous version if that had.
No, that has nothing to do. See, you can simply click on add.
Mm-hmm.
You can select the object type, so it is user group or built-in principal. You don't need to change that, and enter the object name. So we'll just enter our username, okay, which
Yeah.
is SG,
SG.
and after that you click on changes. So according to the system, this is the name,
Mm-hmm.
okay, and let's just give ourselves full control, okay. Now if I try to open this, I can open it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is just a single piece of text, and this is the password now. Okay, so
Okay.
the admin password is this. Now we have the admin password. So what more do you need? I mean, that's all that you require in this case. And what you can do is you can simply disconnect and reconnect as the admin now. So the now in Windows you have the entire administrator word as the admin account, and this password is, oh actually I could have copied this from THM's answer. But okay, no worries. Okay, let's try and connect now. And we are able to log in as the administrator account. Okay, so after logging in as the admin, we have this root, or this file name root. It's a text file.
Mm-hmm.
So if I open this, I have the final flag for this machine, and you just enter that, and you're done. So we've solved another CTF.
Okay.
Now, in any case, see, we had those four flags for the website.
Mm-hmm.
They were not really that important to us because, I mean, important as in with respect to the CTF format. So, in a regular CTF, you just have two main flags, user flag and root flag. But there might be additional flags. So, those were additional flags in this system.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, eventually, with every system, you will have a root flag and a user flag.
Okay.
So once you find out the sorry, not root flag, that is basically the end of your work on the that system. So
Okay.
we have figured out this root flag, and that is it. There's nothing else to do. So okay, now since we are logged in as the admin, it's giving us the server manager and all because this is actually Windows Server and not Windows 8 or Windows 10.
Mm-hmm.
This is Windows Server. Now we don't really need to do anything else here. We can simply disconnect. And back on THM, I can simply terminate. So it tells you that your machine has been terminated. So that is one CTF done on
Okay.
this website. There's actually a lot of stuff here. There's quite a lot of rooms, quite a lot of CTFs. Every individual challenge is a room on this
Okay.
website. Okay, so that is one room done or one CTF done on this site. So let us see what else we can do. If you look at the website, there's actually a lot of stuff, a lot of things to hack here.
Okay.
Of course, I won't be going to through everything. And like I said, I'll be sticking to Windows for a couple more machines.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing that I target, the next machine that I target
Mm-hmm.
is also going to be Windows based.
Okay.
Okay, so now that will require a little more work than this one, and again we'll be using like RDP on that. So that is going to be there. Okay, so the next CTF that we're going to work on is known as retro.
Okay.
Okay, again this is based on Windows, and we'll be using it on try hack me, and there are no hints here like there were in the previous one, or there are no questions. There's just three things. It's asking you what is the web server and the two flags that are present on the system. So of course the main work that we do on the system, we'll do that tomorrow, but we can just
Okay.
start. For now we have a bit of time. Okay, before I start working on that, do you have any questions from whatever we did on the previous CTF? Do you have anything that you would like to ask, or anything that might not have been clear?
No, it was clear.
Okay, okay, good.
In this machine, we have only like collect only three flags.
We have two flags, and there's just one other question that they ask. Like that machine had a little bit of guidance to, nudge you along. There's nothing of that sort here. They just have, like, they have given you the machine and they tell you, okay, go ahead and solve it now. Okay, so at this point we have the IP address and the description for this one just says, can you time travel? If not, you might want to think about the next best thing. So this is just basically it's talking about the theme of the CTF. Okay, so it is retro,
Mm-hmm.
means has something to do with retro stuff, and from the looks of the image here and this picture, it's mostly about retro gaming arcade
ATM
machines.
machine kind of. Okay.
It's retro gaming, it's like arcade machines. You had those video game parlors where you would go and insert coins and play on those
Mm-hmm.
machines. So that is kind of the theme here. So okay, let's try doing a little bit of work on this system. So we already have the IP. Let's try running an Nmap scan. The IP, let me just copy and okay. So it tells us that there are two open ports, just HTTP as well as what is the second port?
Yeah, 338 RDP port it is.
Yes, RDP. Then I can try to do a full all port scan here, but I doubt it's going to tell me anything interesting. I mean, I can try. I'm not really sure if it's going to give us anything. Okay, again, it does not look like it's okay. It's just going to take a couple more minutes. Okay, so even in this case, after scanning all ports, we just have two open. Of course, I can't log into RDP like that, so the only option is port 80. Yeah, I'll just use this window. Okay, so it's just telling us that we have reached an IIS Windows server, so Microsoft Windows Internet Information Services. And of course, this is not a website, it's just a page telling us that there is a Windows server running here. So, what should we do next? How do we proceed in this case? We don't really have a website, it's just a page telling us that there's a server running.
This is only ISS is running.
Yeah, only IIS server is running on this default URL. So, what can we do next?
If default is running, there will be no robot.txt file, na? Or we
No,
can check.
no. There's no robot.txt in the default. You can always check, but it's not going to be there. The server error. Think. What can we do? Okay, think about this today. I'll continue this tomorrow.
Okay.
Think about what to do next. how to figure out where to move on from this. We have two ports open, RDP and HTTP. HTTP takes us here. RDP is, of course, inaccessible right now because there is no credentials that we know of. Okay, so we'll continue with this tomorrow. Think about what to do, how we can proceed.
Okay.
And of course, practice this. Okay, make your account practice here.
Mm-hmm.
Just viewing these topics in the class is not going to be enough. You need to have proper practice as well.
Okay.
Okay, now do you have any questions from this entire session or from anything that we might have covered previously?
No, not exactly.
Okay, and did you practice those other CTFs, the ones that we've covered so far?
Mm-hmm.
No. Okay.
Okay.
Whenever you get the time, try to do them as well.
Okay. Sure, sir.
You have, okay, in class you have seen those CTFs performed once already, right? So when you
Mm-hmm.
try them without looking at the solutions or at recordings. So if you get stuck, then look at the solutions. Try them completely by yourself first.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, we can end this session here.